everyone. This is EstaRa with a message for you today. Today is Tuesday, February 21st, 2017. I want to begin with, wow, the energy is extremely on the intensity scale, like the highest level possible, if you think of it that way. I have been lots of crazy things. So lots of computer issues I had trying to get my webinar going, and I'm still having issues with it. I'm still trying to get that resolved. Worked with a computer person last week and it's still not fully resolved. My computer's working. And had some family stuff go on that really kind of threw me for a loop, and it made me go through some really deep grieving the last few days. And I want to apologize to any of you who did not get your readings, but I've done several already today, and I think I have maybe a handful more to get out to you, so please bear with me as I do this. I wanted to get a reading out to everybody though, because, or not a reading, message out to everybody. I'm not doing reading with this video, although I'm going to pull a card because I did get guided to pull a card, but it's a different card. I'm being guided to share with you some stuff that I'm seeing and stuff that's going on. So we're in the midst of that, eclipse sandwich that I spoke about a couple weeks ago. And we have the next eclipse coming on the 25th, 26th of this week. And we're already in the energy of it. And so remember I told you like a sandwich, an eclipse sandwich, like when you look at a sandwich, it's like you get a piece of bread, stuff inside, and another piece of bread. You don't want to open it up because it turns into a mess because things are just thrown in there, especially if you're one of those people who put lots on their sandwich. Well, imagine your eclipse as being an eclipse and then karmic crap kicking up, and then the other eclipse closing it. Now, it's going to close it, but before it closes it, it kicks up all kinds of stuff for you. So one of the things that I've noticed for me, and I'm going to share this, and hopefully this gives you some wisdom and some guidance. One of the things I've noticed for me is that I have been riding this energy really well. But that being said, I have been really, 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 really focusing on putting me into high frequency. I keep rambling that to you, and I probably will continue to ramble this information to you because my guides are saying how imperative it is that we make ourselves priority and we raise our frequency, raise our frequency, raise our frequency. It is so important because that is how you navigate the energies going forward on the planet. That is actually the information that I've been receiving since September, and since we have the new timelines coming online back in October. And I got real serious about it in October, and I've been really good about it. So even in the midst of chaos and craziness with my family stuff, I literally have been really trying to take care of me, and I actually honor it. So, some of the stuff I think is kicking up is old woundings from childhood with my family, and that's stuff that I hadn't even thought about. It hasn't even gone there. Some of it I would say is a little bit of abandonment things that I thought I've dealt with, and I thought I went beyond. It came up, and it's about intensity of what happens when I lose my family, like my parents. So that's been happening. There's so much more to it, and I'm not going to go there in terms of my personal details because I don't think you really want to hear that or need that information. But it has been really, really intense emotionally. So that kind of kept me from doing some work. And I want you to know that I honor all of you and I respect each of you who actually work with me. So if I'm not okay, if I'm physically not well, emotionally not well, or mentally not well, meaning that I have my own baggage or karma or something, I won't do a session with you. And I know it's inconvenient, and I know that it's frustrating for some of you, but please understand that unless I'm 100%, I don't feel like I should do a session for somebody, because if I do, then I'm not being my true self, because my true self is to give you 100% at all times when I'm working with you. And I wouldn't be the best channel. Yeah, I could do readings. Yeah, I can get information, but I wouldn't be the best of service to you. And my job is to be of highest service to you when I'm capable. And so, thank you, and forgive me for inconveniencing any of you who feel inconvenienced. But I'm grateful most of you have not said, anything horrible, which I'm grateful. I'm grateful about. Okay, so what's going on with this energy? It is so intense. Please, please, please come back into high frequency, high frequency, high frequency. I'm going to give you right now 3 major important things that I do every day that should help you. I ground and anchor into the earth. highly recommend it. I will put a link in this video below if you are looking for a grounding meditation that will anchor you into the earth, put protection around you, and to expand your heart. This, or the energy from your heart chakra, that will be in the link in the video as a special price. It's for the rest of this month, until the 28th of February. That is one thing. I've been putting stuff together to help all of you because I've been working with a lot of you for a long time, and a lot of different people come in and out of my life all the time, and I get messages about how I can help people, and I ask every day, how can I be of service to everyone? And actually, before every session and every call, that's what I do. So the first thing is I ground every day. The second thing is I run energy, and that is so beneficial to us in a way that I don't think most of us recognize. Running energy. So I'm also going to put a link in the video. I should make notes of this. So if it's not in the video, please somebody comment on my YouTube and send me a message saying, hey, you forgot to put the link in there, because I'm doing this right now and I'm saying everything, because you all know I just channel things come out of my mouth and then I don't remember anything after. But I'll try to remember. I'm going to put a link in there for a class that I'm starting on Sunday, February 26th. It's called the Path of Light class. It is a 6-week class. It's technically 5 weeks, but the sixth meeting of it, if you will, is simply closing out the class, and that class will help you work with the Pleiadian emissaries of light energies, but also any other star being energies that you are aligned with will come through that class as well. And it's really about getting you into a routine, taking care of you, doing things that you need to do, and making sure you're in alignment with your spirit, but also bringing in the energy and running light through you. So I do that every day to maintain me. And the third thing I'm offering and is available to all of you is a class that I call 45 days to transform yourself. Why do I call it that? And I'll probably talk about it again at another point, but back when I started my journey, I don't even know how many years ago, I want to say late 90s, early 2000, when I started this part by working with people. I started my journey a long time ago for healing, but I wanted to get rid of some negative energies, and I didn't know what to do, and I had a lot of negative self-talk, and I had a lot of people around me that were kind of negative, so it fed that for me. And so I remember I was raised Catholic, so for Lent, I gave up, I always gave up ice cream. Well, here's the funny thing. I wasn't a big ice cream fan, so giving up ice cream for Lent as a child was not a big deal. My family thought it was a big sacrifice. It really wasn't a big sacrifice. It truly was simply I don't know, it was just simply I'm not going to care if I miss it. But that year, I don't even remember the year now because it's been so many years, but that year I gave up, I'll never forget, I gave up negative self-talk. Well, you know what? That was more near and dear to me than ice cream, because I had lived with that. I've kept it in my mind. I needed to change my thoughts. I needed to change direction, and I didn't know how to do it other than do that. So I gave it up for Lent, and I gave myself 40 days of literally no negative self-talk. Well, what's ironic and weird, is it though, really? I say that and I laugh, but during those 40 days, I had more dates in those 40 days than I had in the 4 years prior. I had people that were just out of nowhere coming up to me because my energy had shifted. I was raising frequency and getting out of that lower vibration and bringing more positive energy into my field. And I transformed a lot. Well, the funny thing is, Lent happened, and then it finished, and I was like, okay, I don't have to worry about that anymore. That wasn't good. So for the next following year, I gave it up as my New Year's resolution, and since then, I've been really conscious of that. And I had to do that again back when I had my car accident 4 years ago, because I lowered my vibration by being really in pain and injured and having to deal with doctors and being more 3D and more physical, if you will. So I had to learn how to transform myself yet again. So I did. And ever since then, these are the tools and techniques that I teach in a lot of my classes, but I'm offering it as an email class. So the grounding is something that will be emailed to you, something you can do on your own at home whenever you need to. The Path of Light class is a 6-week class where we meet on the phone or webinar, if I can get the web thing up, weekly, and then you have homework that I send you daily. It's things you just do daily. It's not major, I promise you. It's not difficult. It's a level 1, so it's not very intense, but this is something I came up with my guides a few years back. And it's great for learning how to run energy, how to keep your house clear, all that kind of stuff. And then the other class, the 45 Days to Transform Yourself, is an email class. So what that means is if you sign up for it, again, I'll try to put the links in there. If I don't, email me. I'll put the link in there. And so basically, if you sign up for it every day, you will receive an email in your inbox for 45 days straight. And there'll be tools, techniques, blurbs, messages for the day, snippets, ideas, ways to heal, ways to clear, ways to change your frequency. It's basically a great class for you to read, work, and do. And each day there'll be one little thing you have to do. There's not a tremendous amount of work involved, but there'll be suggestions that you can do and take with your day. Like today, think about love, and it's I'm saying that very frivolously, but it's so much deeper than that. And it's really powerful. And the people who've taken it with me in the past love this class, and sometimes they take it again because it is that powerful. So those are 3 techniques that I highly recommend that you use. Those are things I use in my day-to-day life every day. In addition, I meditate. I also work with light language. Obviously, I work with my guides. I do healing, so I do that. I also work with other people when I feel I need extra help in clearing. I call on somebody who can help assist me doing that, because we can't always see what's coming at us, and we can't always see what we're in when we're in it. Sometimes we can, but not always. And so we look for help, and I do that. So those are things that I am using to get me through this time. We are at a very, very critical point on this planet, especially as twin flames, because we are at a place and potential for twin flames to unite is like at the highest right now. And I truly feel that in a way that I have never felt before. Not as much as I'm feeling it in the last month. And what's really crazy about it, a lot of us don't even recognize it, and we do get caught up in our stuff. So it's really important to pay attention to what we're doing and really work on ourselves, because, it's so easy to distract, and I'm very guilty of that. And there's times that we need to. Sometimes it's just almost too much. We need to step away from everything. I'm not telling you not to do that, but I'm also reminding you that it's really important that you get into a routine where you're raising your frequency. I know you're not doing the work I do. I spend 3 hours in the morning working on me. You don't have to spend 3 hours in the morning. You need to spend 15 minutes every day. Like, honestly, just to keep your frequency up and raise it. Spending a little bit more time might be beneficial to you, but you don't need to spend as much time. I spend 3 hours in the morning, an hour at night. That's because of the work I do. I have to make sure that I'm okay, because otherwise I can't help you. And for you, each of you, you need to spend some time taking care of you, because it is imperative that you raise your frequency and be high vibration so that you are at the highest alignment possible, so that alignment can happen with you and your beloved. That's really important. I've also been writing lately, which, kicked off some emotions as well, and it's probably what's kicked off. I'm writing my story about me and my twin. A lot of you don't know all the details and what's happened in my journey, but it's been a rough journey for me, but not just at this time in life. It's actually started when I was young. So with that all being said, I have to make sure I maintain myself and I'm okay so I can work with all of you, but also each of us we have a responsibility to this planet. We have a responsibility to each other. We have a responsibility to our twins. And that means we need to do what we need to do to be okay. And so your job as a twin flame is for you to be priority first and foremost, and then your union, and then your beloved. Why do I put it in that order? Because you need to be okay. And then you can focus on bringing the two of you together. And then you can focus on working on that person. Bringing you two together is actually making sure you're in alignment. And then extra healing they might need is what you do after. I hope that makes sense and it resonates with all of you somewhere inside. So all of that happening, everything that's going on right now, major kick up of energy, major purge opportunities, major clearing opportunities, major karmic crap coming up and surfacing around all of us. And I have to tell you, I was riding the wave really great until last weekend, and it hit me pretty hard. And so ever since then, I've been dealing with the emotions of that. And today's probably the first day that I really feel good. I feel clearer. I feel better. It is profound, the opportunities that we have right now, and I want you to please use them to your benefit and to your twins' benefit. So what am I seeing that's happening? So here's some cool things. In the midst of this emotional wave that I've been going through, I've seen things that I hadn't seen in a while, and it's like I'm in between worlds, So let's imagine what I'm noticing is I feel like my galactic team, if you will, my guides, my angels, all the beautiful beings that work with me, they're helping to align my timeline with my twins' timeline. And we're aligning it so we can be in the timeline together, the one that we're supposed to be in. And so I knew that was happening. I know that in the back of my mind. I know that in my heart. I feel in my spirit. On a human level, I look and I'm like, okay, what the hell, which I'm sure most of you do the same thing too. But when in the midst of my tears, now it's easy to get caught up and cry and be in emotion, which I did. But here's what's crazy. In the midst of that, I had these moments of clarity, such pure, deep essence of clarity of who I am, why I am here, and what my future looks like. Like I'm actually seeing the potentials and possibilities that I hadn't seen in a while because I hadn't been able to move that other energy. And apparently the tears needed to come to clear that and unblock that. So with crisis comes amazing things. With chaos comes beauty, right? Comes order. They say, wasn't it chaos comes order? Well, to me, chaos and crisis create beauty and truth. And so what I saw was literally our timelines merging and aligning. So like we're already merging. My beloved and I are merged. We're merged in many ways, but we are in that midst of merging, I guess is what you would say, on a physical level. And so I'm actually seeing how our timelines are intertangling and intertwining. So they come together and then they move apart. They come together and they move apart. And that has to do with our whole journey for the last 12 years that I've known him. It's not quite 12 years yet, but all that time. With all that happening, it's made me see where we need to keep raising frequency, because the more I'm in a higher frequency, the more I'm bringing us into alignment. I'm clearing everything that I can for me. And so that means like my stuff, my crap is not going to get in the way. And his stuff might get in the way, but because I'm clearing my crap, I'm not going to allow his stuff to affect me in the way that it will pull back. Because I've noticed our journey, I've looked at our journey. We've been in patterns, and as a twin flame and being on this journey and recognizing we have patterns, we all have patterns that we act out with our beloved. We're acting out patterns from childhood. We're acting out patterns just in relationship, patterns from karma, patterns from previous lifetimes. We're acting out those things. We have thought forms thrown at us by other people, not intentionally. Some of them are intentionally, but a lot of them aren't. A lot of them are people thinking they're doing it for your best and highest good when they say to you, just move on, stop waiting for that person. They don't realize that actually sends a thought form into our field, and it manifests all kinds of chaos within our energy field, and we have to work through that. And if we're not clearing ourselves and we're not doing things to take care of us, that stuff manifests inside of us and creates that problem. So it's layers of stuff that we have, and it's so frustrating when I think about it. But what I feel is going on is they're showing me that like the potentials are so much stronger, and they're showing us how closely we're overlapping. Like our timelines are overlapping to where we're creating one timeline where we're together. And when I feel this, and when I speak with my beloved, every time I've spoken with him, particularly in this new year, so 2017, so for the last few weeks, when I've spoken to him, things come out of my mouth that I have no control over, which is actually a good thing, I think. And I say them, and I feel like after I say them, I'm almost surprised at myself that those words came out, or whatever I said came out. And it's almost shocking to me, but at the same time, it's well, that's what I needed to say. There's nothing wrong with it. That was truth, and I needed to say that. But in the past, I might have filtered it. I might have held back because I didn't want to hurt him, or I didn't want to hurt me, or I got scared. I didn't know what it was going to do. Now it's just coming out because I have no control. Do I really not have control? Of course I have control. My spirit is controlling it. My highest self is representing me at every moment of every time, because my 3D self doesn't always get caught into that truth, and the 3D self might get into the fear. So being in my heart more and raising frequency more, I'm looking at everything from a different perspective. It is a beautiful view from up here, let me tell you. And it is magnificent what we are going to accomplish as beautiful, beloved couples on this earth, bringing divine love to humanity. And it is magnificent what I see for the unions. It is magnificent. It's beyond anything I imagined. And when I've been in the deepest moments over the last weekend, I have seen things that I didn't think were possible, and they are so possible because they're showing them to me, not because they're showing them to me. I'm seeing them because I'm in a frequency where I can actually see through the muck into the other side. And let me tell you, it's a beautiful, space. So imagine being in a hoarder's house, somebody who's a hoarder, cluttered, it's a mess everywhere, and you start to unearth all these things, and then you see that beautiful gift underneath it. Well, that's exactly what the twin flame union is. It's this beautiful gift, and it's much grander than we even think, and it's much more important than I think many of us have thought. There is that sense of urgency we've all felt, how important we are here and why we're here, but it's even more than that. So I just want to say to you, we're choosing with every thought we think. We're choosing with every memory, everything we put out there. So I ask you all to please look into your hearts and raise that frequency as high as you possibly can, and love yourself enough to know that you are the most important piece of this union. Because until you know you're important, your twin can't be there being important for you, right? Because your twin doesn't know that they're that important in their life either. And yeah, you might think, oh, that person's really, look at them, they're so powerful and whatever. I look at my twin and think, oh my God, he's amazing and wonderful. He doesn't always know that. And he probably looks at me and thinks I'm amazing and wonderful. Actually, I know he does because he's said that, but I feel that. But the truth is, I don't always know that about myself. And me always knowing about myself is so important. I know it sounds selfish and self-centered. That's not at all what I mean by that. And it's not egoic to say that. But I realize how important I am and how important I am to the piece of the puzzle here on this planet Earth. And we each are. Every single person here has that. But guess what? The twin flames have a little bit more of a role in bringing that divinity down here. Bringing in that love that has not been seen on our planet and that most people are not conscious of or aware of yet. But they're being awakened to it, and that's why you'll find people that think they're twins, but they're not twins, but they're that close, high-level soulmate love connection, because that's where they are. They want that. They want to feel what we're feeling, and I don't know, I hope I'm not conveying and rambling too much, but I have just so much to say, and yet the words are not coming out because it's not words that I can share it with you. It's just this feeling of magic and love inside of me that, I don't know, I just want you to know the timelines are overlapping. And when they overlap one of these days, one won't go back. We'll just be together. And I see it in glimpses of conversation with my twin. I see it in glimpses of conversation I have with myself. I see it in glimpses of conversation I'm having with friends. And I'm recognizing there are people I'm leaving behind. And I feel for them and I feel sad about that. But I can't stay in the sadness about it. I can't stay in the pain of it because then I won't be moving forward. This is ascension, my loved ones. This is ascension. So I'm asking my guides before I turned on the recorder, I asked them to, which deck should I give guidance? And they said, sure. So I'm using the Inner Peace cards by Dr. Wayne Dyer. Okay, so I'm shuffling them as we speak, and I'm asking for the clearest guidance in affirmation that will be beneficial to everybody that is watching this video. So I ask for the highest divine guidance available to me to show me now. Okay, I'm getting this card here. Oh, wow, this is amazing. Okay. The card is, you can sit here forever lamenting about how bad you've been, feeling guilty until you die, and not one tiny slice of that guilt will do anything to change anything in the past. Let me show that to you. And now I'm going to read the affirmation to you in just a moment. I forgive myself, and then I move on. That is absolutely the message for all of us. This is what I would say every single day. I forgive myself and then I move on, especially when you're feeling the emotions you're feeling. And I got another card they're showing me. It's just standing out like so bright. It's so important that we recognize that if we leave people behind, if things change and we're moving forward and not everybody is and not everybody will, that it's okay. We can forgive ourselves about that and just move forward. And that's really important for everybody right now to know that. The final card that I got guided to pull, I wasn't going to pull a second card. This is not usually a deck I usually pull cards from. But the color jumped out, the yellow. It's yellow. Be patient and loving with every fearful thought. Practice observing your fears as a witness, and you'll see them dissolve. So that's the message. And the affirmation is, I am patient and loving with my fearful thoughts. I am patient and loving with my fearful thoughts. Well, that's appropriate as we move through all this crap and we're plowing through it. So I wish you well with this message. I will come back. I'm not sure if it'll be today, tomorrow, or Thursday with a reading, but I will come back with a card reading. I just wanted to get this message out to all of you. I feel like it's really important with this eclipse energy. And please, 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 please stay in your heart. That's really important. We have to be there. And it's another thing I forgot about. There's another class that I'm offering, the one that I wasn't able to do in February, the webinar for manifesting in the 5D. We are in the 5D. We just need to learn to manifest there and bring ourselves there. Higher vibrational frequency, we stay there. But if we're not, we don't stay in 5D. The class, I really do feel like entities and energies were interfering with it. I may have said this at the beginning of the video. I don't remember. They were interfering because I feel like what I'm going to teach you in that class is how to be in your heart and how to really live from there and to manifest from there, because that is where we need to be. And I was really good at that before my car accident, and I'm getting really good at it again because things are manifesting rapidly. Okay, enough rambling. I am going to go now. I send you all love, blessings for a beautiful union, and oh my gosh, happy day to all of you. Namaste.